How about that then? There was a kind of a spooky finish to that one, wasn't it? We get this kind of strange sound.
I was digging it. Were you grooving?
Because we got to do what we got to do at the end of the day. You got to do what you got to do. And it always reminds me, it always really does remind me of this kind of Baltimore, New York kind of vibe about the music as well, with the alarms going off in the background.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah, definitely,
freeze,
definitely.
Sucker, and all this kind of stuff. Do you know what I mean? I feel like I want to be driving around in an A-Team van or something like that and chasing someone like, you know, and being Mad Murdoch, who was my childhood hero. He was. But yeah, how are you doing, Hive? Great to see you here, mate. Great to see you here as well, Craister.
Thank you.
Let's start with you, Hive, down there. How's life treating you? How was your stream?
It was good. It's good. Man, I tell you, it's so weird, man. Doc is just kind of like rekindled this fire in me for Good Morning Brick World. We're, you know, coming up with all these different ideas and different things that we're going to do with it. And, you know, it's going through a lot of an evolution right now. And it's a constant thing where we're trying this, trying that, seeing what this works, seeing what that works. But it's just a lot of fun. And I'm really happy, you know, he's on board. So, but yeah, it was a good stream.
So he's a proper co-host now. So is it a bit like me and Si when we do the backlog? We kind of co-host each other's kind of or that particular stream.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit what was behind it and stuff like that.
Well, I peaked at to about 100, or somewhere around episode 100 or so, that I started kind of thinking about, you know, it'd be nice to have somebody to kind of share this with and bounce the conversation off of. That's not just a guest, somebody that's more permanent, somebody that can have a hand in the show and with ideas and stuff like that, and just certain calls. And, you know, I started talking about it online, and mostly everybody kept pointing at Doc anyways.
Straight away, I was like, Doc Samson. Because that was my first choice.
Because there was a handful of people that easily could have filled the shoes of a co-host for me. I mean, you being one of them as well.
Dude, I'd love to, but it's the commitment thing.
The thing is, it's about time. So I reached out to Doc about it, and he was all for it, which I wasn't even sure if he would be, because, you know, he's 3 hours earlier than me. So when I start the show, it's 7:00 in the morning, his time.
Wow. Yeah. But in a way, that's kind of all right as well, because he gets it out of the way. Then he just gets up and jumps into it. You know, it's not like he's got to comb his hair or anything like that. He's just got to put a thing on his hand. It's like putting on a pair of gloves.
Well, and I mean, you know, Doc, he's got a tremendous personality as well. So he adds that, and he's just come 100%. Up with so many ideas that I'm like, wow, I can't believe I've never thought of this. I mean, it's such a good idea.
Doc is awesome, man. I love Doc a bit. I really do. And I honestly wish I could stream with him more often. I really do.
It's tough, man.
It's too far
because we were talking about that. And, you know, because I was talking backstage about like 2x2 and stuff. And just, dude, we're so busy.
Yeah.
Like we all have lives, man, and jobs and our own channels. And, you know, it's hard. It's even hard for us to try and do a transatlantic every month. It really is. I mean,
I know.
Some days it's not, some months it's not too difficult, you know, but most of the times it's like we're trying to juggle all kinds of stuff around. And
I think people are liking the new format that we this double format that we do, because at least then, like, we're trying to condense 8 weeks into some time. Because 8 weeks would be 2 sessions, wouldn't it? So we kind of, if we stick to around the sort of 6 week mark or something like that, but do double sessions, then we're actually doing more per year. So it seems to work all right. And just in case anyone wonders, that's a lovely little segue into next Saturday. Because next Saturday from 3 p.m. UK time, 10 a.m. EST USA time, folks, that is, my friend Brandon, of course, aka Brick Hive, is going to be doing a transatlantic live stream with me, and we've got 2 guests coming on for that. One of them being Lauren, the brightest witch bricks, and one of them being Craig.
Hey, Craig.
I'm everywhere. It's like the evolution of man, isn't it? Look, if I put Craig there, right? It's like the beard's coming off and coming off and coming off. The more we come up, it really is. But it is. Don't worry, I'm not calling you a caveman.
You'll be saying that when I hit you with my blooming baseball bat.
I thought you'd been a couple of truncheons. There we go.
I'm very excited for our Transatlantic stream coming up, and I feel like it's going to be almost like a precursor because we had talked about, and this is something I meant to ask you, because we had talked about building our passenger train for a long time, and the reason I just never got around to building it is because I just never got to that point where I was setting the train up. I got close, but I just never got to that point. So did you ever build your passenger train?
No. But this is the thing, right? So next week we're doing Hogwarts Express, which at some point I will motorize as well. It has to be done. But I asked my members, because I've got members now.
Yes, you do.
Members. So I kind of asked them. I bounced ideas off them as well. And I said to them, right? I said, guys, what do you want me to do? Do you want me to build a modular next, like I don't know, a bookshop, a pet shop, whatever? Or I said, I can do the freight train next, and I'll do that on a live stream. And I'll get it working and everything like that on the table, just over there, in fact, where you can see Assembly Square hanging out. And every single person, all the members, they all voted for the freight train. They wanted me to build the freight train. So what I'll do is I'll build up the track first, and then on the day I'll build the trains, power them up and see how they go. Simple as that. But it's unanimous. I think the community, honestly think the Lego community is starved of Lego sets for trains. 100%.
I do too. I think that it's something that is not expanded upon enough. And I think that there is a lot of people hungry for it, myself included. I mean, I've got 2 trains right now, and I'm going to have a third one here pretty soon. I'm trading the Lamborghini for one.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah. So I'm finally gonna get rid of that.
That's
Lamborghini.
A good trade. That's a really good trade.
But I'm very, very excited about our Transatlantic stream because the Hogwarts Express. Because I took a poll too, and everybody on my stream voted for the Hogwarts Express out of the passenger and the freight. So I got an extra Hogwarts Express.
Ooh.
So that way I can have the engine, 2 passenger trains, and then I'm going to build out of the other engine a caboose. So, nice. Good stuff.
That is really good stuff, actually, dude. And I can't wait because I want to build more carriages for my Hogwarts Express as well, without a doubt. I think that's going to be. It's just a magical train, and Craig's is coming on next week. Because I guess Lauren's coming on because her linkage to Harry Potter.
Mm-hmm.
Craig's is coming on because he's got a love of trains, haven't you, Craig?
Yes. All trains.
Yes.
Love trains.
He doesn't talk like that all the time, I promise you.
By the way, hi to everybody in the chat that said hi. I appreciate that.
I know. Let's say hello to a few of them out there actually as well, and then we'll get straight back to Craig's. We've got Brick Von Baron out there. Brick Von Baron, great to see you. We've got the lovely Cy O'Connor as well. Great to see you, Cy. How are you doing, Cy? You all recovered? And how's Lorraine? How's she doing as well? We've got Bricky TY out there. My Croppish. Which is a very cool name. I love the avatar. It actually looks like a sausage I ate earlier on today with some hash browns. It's a very cool one. What
it looks like me when I'm cold.
Do you go that color? You'd be that cold if you only wear a hat in the winter. That's for sure.
That hat. It's a really little hat. Look.
It's a very little hat. Yeah. It's not even thermal. What Mr. Man is that? My Cropfish. Let me know. We got it's a Jack Attack out there as well. Good to see you. Got a Cabbage as well. Asking if it's live. Of course it is. We've got Mayo saying, did somebody say Mayo? They didn't, but welcome to the stream, my friends. Great to have you here. Nicole's out there as well saying, Burko Bricks, I am well, thank you. Of course, Nicole wasn't here on Friday, folks, for London Calling. She was having a booster, which, as we know, is anything but boosting people at the moment. It seems to just knock people out for a few days or so. We've got the Minifig Who out there as well. Good to see you, dude. Like I said, Burko Bricks and Delicious Foods is the latest member to become a YouTube member of the London Bridge Bricks family. Good to have you here, dude. It really is. Lovely to have everyone out there. I think I got about everyone. I've got Skellig out there as well. Good to see you, my friend. Who else? I'm sure I saw one or two peeps pop in. Got Mitty Bricks. Great to see you, dude. Minark's out there as well. Minark, how are you, my friend? And I think we are just about there. Oh, it's Mr. Sleepy. Somebody saying, "Oh, it's Mr. Lazy." You say Mr. Sleepy. You say Mr. Lazy. They're probably one of the same person. I would have thought. And his Jack Attack says, "Sorry, bye. I'll take care." It's Jack Attack. Have a good rest of the weekend, mate, wherever you are. Good to have you here. While you were, and of course, while you're all here, folks, do us a favor, give the stream a thumbs up. And if you want to know who these peeps are that are on with me at the moment, you'll find all their details down in the description below. Actually, I'll tell you what, I'll have to put Brick Hives on afterwards because he told me about 10 minutes ago he was coming.
Yeah, I was last second.
No, that's cool. I was up in the house doing myself a quick coffee, and then I saw it. I was like, oh, that's cool. But yeah, no, it's great to have everyone here. We've got Tech out there as well. It's just ignore me. That's all. Oh, Tech. Tech, I'm supposed to see you here. I thought you was doing a premiere about now. I did. But anyway, how did it go? What was it all about? Tell us about it. Good to see you here, though, dude. I see you guys. So basically, what the idea of this particular stream is that I'm going to actually build, and once I've built it, I'm going to review it as well. I've got a little list of things here that I've got to talk about. I'm going to talk about figures, build enjoyment, the value, what I like, what I don't, and would I recommend it? There we go, folks. That's a quick list that I wrote down just before we go, literally as the introduction was kicking off, because that's why I like an intro, because I can think about what it is I'm going to talk about for the whole stream. So what have I done so far? Well, what I've done so far, a bit of precursor work. This is obviously starting off with bag one, because if I didn't, it'd be a bit silly, wouldn't it? And I've pre-sorted them. And so hopefully, if all goes well, not only be able to build it, we'll be able to review it at the end as well. It goes, oh, it's already done my Droid Army video. Good man. Love that sort of thing, my friend. We got ourselves. We got Minark. It goes, these 2022 sets are so good. Support as always. They really are good. I'm loving the 2022 wave, especially from Lego City anyway. I wish we could get more Monkey Kid stuff readily available. But Minark, this is for you.
Detach cable. Cable detached.
Thank you, Minark. It just gave me enough time to put me coffee on the shelf and grab me water as well. So thank you for that. So anyway, how are you guys doing? Anyway, I kind of like doing this stream on a Sunday. I have to say these hours are quite nice because it's kind of like I'm at the top of the weekend and at the bottom of the weekend. And I kind of like that. Do you know what I'm saying, Hive? It kind of it's quite nice, really.
Yeah.
I've had a top weekend. I've done loads of sleeping this weekend. I've done a lot of running this weekend, but I've also done a lot of sleeping. And I suppose because I haven't done much exercise in about 2 years, I'm kind of just slowly getting back into it, and it's kind of cool. Because do you remember, Hive? 2 years ago, I had a hip operation. Mm-hmm. And then as soon as I had the hip operation, we had the lockdowns kicking in, and it was, it's been I haven't really done a lot since then. Can't really get to the gyms much, so yeah.
Are you that old? You've had your hips done already?
I've worn them out. The funny thing, I haven't worn them out. I haven't had a hip replacement.
Right, okay.
Yeah, I'm too young for a hip replacement. They've resurfaced them, blooming things.
Right.
In all honesty, hip replacement would have been easier.
Don't you be pulling your pension soon at that rate?
Pulling me pensions. I'll tell you what, mate. If I won the lottery, I'll be pulling me pension. That's all. I'll be pulling a lot more than just me pension as well. However, you know. I mean, but anyway, how are you? So, how's your weekend been, Craigster? Have you watched any TV? Any football?
Yeah, I watched a bit of football. I watched Match of the Day for the first time in a long time because Newcastle actually won.
They actually won a game.
I know, they won a game. Unbelievable. And then I was watching American football because the wildcard rounds have been really good this year. And what else have I been doing? And just building. I've been building this stupid thing when I haven't been on streams.
Oh, come on. Do you want to show us it off?
No, not really.
Oh, come on. Is it going Pete Tong?
It's just these stairs are driving me nuts. Once I've got the stairs done, I'll show you.
Is that why a lot of people don't actually put stairs in their modulars because they're like it's too much hassle?
Well, if I'd have put normal stairs in, but I wanted grandeur, red carpeted stairs. Look.
Oh, okay. Let's take a look. Let's make it bigger. Look at that. Instant.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, they're nice.
Yeah,
and
that's
then I
really
want them to go up
nice.
to a balcony at the top. You know, like they do in them posh houses. Can't move my hand. There you go.
So fancy.
It's very fancy. Are they based on the stairs in your house?
No.
So you fancy now.
Well, yeah, and this is for. I always forget. Is Wayne Manor or Arkham Asylum? Wayne Manor. Good stuff.
Arkham's done. That's finished. It's gone.
Is it?
Yeah.
Can we see it from here? That's it behind your right shoulder, isn't it?
Yeah, it's done. Full interior of the lot. It's done.
Oh, very nice too. I was watching M&R's vlog today, and he, I think it was something like 18 minutes 44. No, I'll tell you what it was. It was 18 minutes 40 seconds, right? Check it out. There's a massive Arkham Asylum in that. I don't know why I remember this is a specific time.
I think I know which one you're talking about, Greg. That one was really awesome. I love the trench run that was at that brick fair.
Yeah, it was at Brick Fair, Alabama.
Yep.
And the guys looked like they had a really good time there as well.
Oh.
Right. Okay. Right. So.
You know what, Greg? You might be entered into my membership giveaway.
Woohoo!
Oh yeah. Tell us a little bit about that then.
Do you have this set? This Ninjago set?
I don't actually know. I do. Sorry, I do have that one.
You do?
But it's a good set. It's got fabulous figures on it. The guy that looks like he's just walked out of the Beatles is a
yeah, man. Yeah, there's some funny looking dudes, man. But yeah, I gotta look. I can't remember if it'll be at your 2-month mark or not, but it's very close. But yeah, I was like, look at that. Greg might win that.
Yeah, dude, it's Lego. I'm in. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, that's the funny thing is like anybody that has bought gifts for me, you know what I mean, for Christmas or my birthday or whatever. Yeah. And they always say like, well, what do you want? And I'm always like, Lego. And they're like, well, I don't know which Lego you have or what to buy. I was like, buy me anything. Yeah. And they're like, well, what if I get you the same set you already have? I'm like, then I'll either build something bigger with it or I'll part it out. Or I was like, you can't have too much Lego.
You can't. It's impossible. I might like my mum, even my mum, bless her, right? She says to me, like for Christmas, she goes, "Oh, I didn't know what to get you," and I'm like, "You do really, mum? Like, you just get me Lego. It's very simple." And she's like, "Yeah, but I didn't, And I'm like, "No, it's fine. Just get me Lego." And then I said, "Lego vouchers, even better. You can't go wrong."
Right.
I think it's easy. I think it's easy for us lot that collects Lego. Like I really don't care if people buy me something I've already got. How do you feel about that, Craig?
Yeah, I've had that before where people have bought me stuff because it's impossible for them to know what I've got and what I haven't got. And like you say, I use the parts or I trade it. I can trade them sometimes.
Yeah.
But I usually ask for vouchers, to be fair.
Yeah.
It's just easier.
Yeah, I agree. And I'm all up for vouchers as well. If it's a way of buying a particularly expensive Lego set, I would like to buy the AT-AT. Talking of AT-ATs, have you finished your one, Tech, or are you still kind of enjoying the build on that one? Because he's having a similar thing that I had with the 1989 Batmobile Brick Hive, where he's kind of reluctant to finish it because it's so good. It's very understandable. I completely get where he's coming from with that one.
I mean, I couldn't stop building the Batmobile.
Oh, dude! I mean, you fell in love with it. Like he was hook, line, and sinker. He was.
Yeah, I know. Everybody thought I was going behind Mrs. Hive's back and taking the Batmobile out.
What was that, man? I mean, it was curious.
Dude, that car did something to me, man.
It's just the best thing I've ever built. It really is.
I have to agree. If it's not, man, it's extremely close, like right there.
Yeah.
because I had similar feelings with the Ecto 1. Not exactly the same, because the Batmobile is huge. That's a big car, man.
Ginormous.
It's just ginormous. And the way they got those curves in there and everything, it was just absolutely amazing.
Yeah. And the figures. Don't forget the figures, dude.
Oh, yeah. I know, right?
Yeah. I mean, I was never really particularly interested in buying the back wing, but I kind of want to get that because Craig wants it. And the good thing is with that is that it can go up on the wall as well.
Yeah. It's definitely one of the ones that's on my list. But I have like these weird tiers of lists of things that I want. I have things that I will get. Like, there's just no doubt about it. I'm going to get it. Then there's things that I really want to get, but I'm probably not going to get just because of the price. UCS Falcon is in that category. And so is that Batwing.
Yeah. Oh, do you think you'll never get the Millennium Falcon, or what would you rather get, the Falcon or the AT-AT?
Oh, I'd rather get the Falcon, but I don't think I'm ever going to get it. And I don't say that in a pessimistic kind of way. I'm being realistic about it. I mean, it's possible, but the reason I say I'm probably never going to get it is eventually, and I feel like it's not going to be too long, and it's going to retire. And once that thing retires, it's gonna be really expensive.
It's gonna be mega bucks.
I mean, it's already really expensive, but yeah, it's gonna be like mega expensive.
It's gone up here in the UK by £50.
And the reason I can't get it is because I spread myself too thin with Lego.
Yeah.
If I wasn't building a city, or if I didn't collect almost every theme that Lego puts out there, or if there wasn't certain things that I did, I would be able to get that thing. But
it's a big build. Well, obviously, I don't know why I even said that, folks. Everyone knows it's a big build. That's the understatement of the year, isn't it? Yeah, it's quite a big build.
It's a little bit.
Yeah, it'll take you a few hours, a few weeks more, like. But yeah, my one's over here. This is it at the moment. It's in progress. It weighs a ton. I've not even built it all yet.
Oh, okay.
That's it there.
Yeah, look at that.
Get it in shot. There we go. Oh no, cool. Well, come back. Greg.
It's a lot heavier than that.
Yeah, no, I love it. I really do.
But yeah,
it'll be there.
That's the bare bones, though.
Yeah.
See, and now you'll really, in my opinion, if I was building it, now you'd probably be really starting to get to the real fun parts, man. More cosmetic stuff to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, do you know? I love the fact that you build the shell of it, and then you kind of start building up the interior. Yeah, I am enjoying it. I am really enjoying it. I am. Oh, Tim Bainbridge is here as well. Axel Plate, good to see you, dude.
Hi, Axel.
I just hope everyone has had a top weekend. I really do, folks. Because we're right back in the year now. It kind of sucks. There's not too much to look forward to. January is just a horrible time of year, to be honest. It's not as good as December, let's face it. And as cold and miserable as December gets, I love December because of Christmas and just having good times with everyone.
It's weird, man. It's weird because that you say that, because it's like the complete opposite for me. Well, mainly because I have a different job now, and I'm in the process right now. I went ahead and filmed a video about work and mental health, and kind of explaining the stuff that I had gone through, and then how other people maybe can relate, and just stuff like that. So I'm in the process of editing it, but yeah, I'm in the complete opposite. Like I pretty much ever since Christmas going forward, I've slowly been pulling myself out of this funk.
So, well, are you doing a similar sort of job as what you did before, or are you?
Yeah, there's similarities. So I mean, basically, I traded some money for a peace of mind. I got out of my management job And there was a whole plethora of reasons why it was just like crushing as far as trying to deal with it, you know, and anxiety and depression and all this stuff that came with it. So I left, and my job is somewhat similar. I fix things, but I just don't have the same amount of responsibilities that I did before.
Yeah.
So because of that, and not being responsible for like other people and stuff like that, you know, it's just like basically I make less money now, not a whole lot, but I definitely make some less money, but it's at the expense of not wanting to, you know, bash my head against the wall.
Yeah, I completely kind of, you know, sympathize with that and things, because, you know, I see how working in London in a boiling pot of a kind of job that I do, and what it does to people over time. And I can completely relate, because, you know, like, remember Paul, who I used to work with?
Yes.
He got made. Well, he kind of left his job. He got kind of made redundant. Got a really good deal out of it. He really did. So, Paul, if you're ever out there, mate, I hope all is well with you, dude. But he immediately straight after, you know, lockdown hit and everything like that.
Right.
And do you know what? He got a job working for a company called John Lewis over here. And it was a branch of John Lewis called Ocado, and they used to go around delivering food and stuff like that. So it was quite a different one, and it's probably like a bridge between jobs for him. It was, but do you know what? For quite a long time, I kind of thought to myself, do you know what? I'd love to do that. Have a job with no responsibilities, whereby if I press the wrong button, I'm not going to take down a whole region of an area that I work in and stuff like that. And it's all just so intense, and over years I see that wears on people. And it just depends. It's really hard. It is hard. It's intense.
Yeah, there's a lot of different factors involved, you know, like, for instance, my particular situation, it depends on how big of the property you work at. You know, what kind of a crew do you have? Do you have a full crew? Do you have the budget you need? Do you have upper management supporting you? You know what I mean? There's just a lot of different things that you got to deal with. And I explain that in my video as well. But I know, like, I'm kind of preaching to the choir, because just like, you know, what Simon just says about sanity and mental health means so much more than a few extra, you know, dollars or euros or pounds or whatever it is, you would call your money. But the problem is, and this is where I talk about where I don't have an answer, because look, if you have anxiety, depression, you know, stress, you know, if there's things, you know, it's really good to talk to somebody, you know, and if they're real serious, you definitely should seek, you know, more professional help. But as far as the rat race, you know what I mean? Like, you know, if you don't, you know, make this money or whatever, you know, you're going to be a bum eventually. If you don't, you know what I mean? You got to work, you know what I mean? So there are people out there that do have jobs that they love, or they might be in a situation where they don't have to worry about certain bills, or they don't have to, you know, be stressed or live paycheck to paycheck or any of those types of things. But there's a lot of people all around the world, man, that struggle with that. And it's really crushing for a lot of people. And I don't know what the answer is really, because in the situation that I was dealing with for the last year, I had a certain amount of level of income that I had to make, you know, because I have a mortgage payment, I have a truck payment, I have insurance, you know, I have a credit card payment, like I have a daughter, you know what I mean? I have a lot of different things, man, that I have to pay for, you know what I mean? So I can't just be like, okay, I'm stressed, but I gotta, you know, I'm leaving my job. You know, you can't just do that.
No, you gotta unwind.
Right. So I had to figure out a lot of different things, man, to get to the point that I did, where I finally got a different job and this and that. And then, of course, in the beginning, I was really just trying not to give up and, you know, just do my job. But yeah. So, like I said, I know a lot of people struggle with that. So that's really what kind of pushed me to even make the video, because I wasn't even going to make it. I kept putting it off, but I really thought it was something that was important to talk about because I know a lot of other people can relate to that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And a lot of people struggle with stress and anxiety and depression and those kinds of things because of work. So I removed myself out of that situation just in time. I think I got myself a new job, and I'm doing a lot better now. But it took a little while to get out of that, though, you know, and it still hasn't completely washed away.
Do you still find you're still trying to get your head around it and stuff like that?
Yeah. Because, dude, I would get calls all the time.
Yeah, see, that would wind me up. That would
all
wind
the time. Sometimes it'd be while I was streaming. Sometimes it'd be at 3 a.m. You know, like, you know, my techs would call me, or the leasing agents would call me, or management would call me, or contractors would call me, or the county police, or the sheriffs, or the fire department, or housing, or dude, there's just so many people call me at different times, man.
Dude, I know that you changed within about a month of you joining your new job. You changed. You was like a different person overnight.
Yeah. A lot of people noticed that were closer to me.
You did, and you'd say, like, you know, I've got responsibilities now and stuff like that, and
right,
you know, and I could see it weighing on you straight away, and then as weeks and weeks went on, and months went on, and stuff like that, you know, I'd sort of touch base with you every now and again and say, you know, how you doing, and all stuff like this, and you never seemed to get any relief from what you was doing.
No, man.
It's a boiling point. It's a boiling pot, and something like a pressure cooker, and something's got to give at some point. And I'm so glad that you did kind of work through that, because it is you've got to. I've been, not to make fun of what you're saying or anything like that.
No.
I've been watching a reel recently. It's fun. It's quite funny, and what it's one of those things that's super deep, and then all of a sudden it's completely lighthearted, and it's one of these things. It's based on the American accent as well. It's like you'll see a beautiful scene, and it will say, like, do you know what? There's 3 things in life that are really, really hard to say. One is that you've got a problem. The second one is that you need help, and the third one is trying to say Worcester sauce. Because Americans apparently have trouble saying Worcester sauce.
Yeah, we're pretty stubborn when it comes to that stuff.
I got completely sucked in on the first one of that. It was like one of these ones where you're seeing this beautiful kind of snowy, horizon, and it looks beautiful, and you're kind of like,
right.
Yeah. And straight away you relate to it. Yeah, I can say, especially from a guy's point of view as well. Guys are terrible for asking for help. They really are. And you know, and the more the crazy thing about it is, the more you talk to people about it, the more people say, yeah, I got that issue as well. I got that problem.
Dude, and it's such a difficult thing to deal with. I mean, some people are really good at communicating their feelings and problems. And it's good that they can do that. It's very important. You know what I mean? I truly believe talking to people and getting it out, you know what I mean, is very helpful. Because it's just helpful to get it off your chest. It's helpful for somebody to be there for you, not just to care for you and be there, like, to give you a hug or something, but to really just kind of to logically talk to you about some stuff too, help you see things maybe a little differently. Not to say, like I was saying, if it's something's very serious, you definitely should seek professional help. But it's always good to talk to somebody. But for me, I don't really take my own advice, because I'm not good at expressing, like, my feelings when it comes to, like, that kind of internal stuff. And I think a lot of people also have that difficulty as well. And sometimes it's because you really don't want to bring people down. You know what I mean? You don't want to be a downer. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's for a lot of people, if they are depressed about stuff, or they have depression and all that, it's really easy to put on, like, a mask. You know what I mean? And pretend everything's okay. And but like I was saying, people that are really close to you can usually see through that. They can see the cracks in it, you know.
Especially your wife. I mean, I mean, Craig, just to bring you in a little bit on this, and sorry, this wasn't how the stream was going to go, folks, but this is
No,
but it's important. The thing is, we're building Lego, we're all kind of chilled out and stuff like that, and it's an important subject, and we all go through it. We're all adults, most of us that are watching this, and if there's any teenagers watching and think, "Oh, what are they going on about?" Do you know what? Do yourselves a favor, just listen, right, and learn a little bit, because I tell you what, it's easier to learn from other people's mistakes than it is to make it yourself. Believe me, it really, really is. It's the tip of the day. Think of it like that. But it is hard. It is hard for people to accept that they can't deal with it anymore or want to deal with it anymore. And I think people, the energy level kind of dips, and it's just like, you know, and it's just a thing. I mean, and Craig, well, in the world that you work in, I mean, it's just constant. That's always constant pressure from every angle, isn't it, mate?
Yep, just a bit. There's sort of three things that are quite important with these kind of discussions. One of them is choice. You've always got a choice. It might not be an easy choice. It might be a really, really hard choice, but that's what makes us who we are, that we've got a choice.
Yeah.
One way or the other. Like you say, like relating to what Hive said, he's got responsibilities that he's got to weigh up within that choice, which is why it makes that choice harder, leaving something where you've got a bit more job security over your own health. Still a choice. Second one, personal responsibility. No matter, I mean, I've had counselling. I've been there. I've been at rock bottom. I know exactly how it works. You have to take responsibility for the decisions you make and those choices, and not to try and push it somewhere else, because you never get anywhere. Your health will go out the window until you accept that it's up to you to do something about it, you to talk to somebody, and you to make those difficult choices. And the third thing is, which is a well-known therapy technique that a lot of people who probably had therapy recently will know. It's called the sumo, and it's basically shut up and move on. And it sounds really harsh, but it's not. Because at the end of the day, you haven't got a time machine. You can't go back in time and change those decisions. So procrastinating or, worrying about and stressing decisions that you've made is pointless, because you can't do anything about it now. You've got to get on with life. You've got to move forward. You can't look back. Once you've done them, you pretty much cracked it. All three of them, extremely, extremely difficult. And what comes with that, I always find interesting, is that people, like we say, men are bad at it, talking to other people, and it's good. But again, talking to counsellors, every company now has some form of well-being that doesn't get used. It's like they've all got to have them. And you honestly, even if you are Mr. I don't cry, I don't talk to anyone, I do anything, go and see a complete stranger who's got no vested interest in your life, who's just going to listen to you and help you unravel the mystery of life. And the treatment and everything you go through is amazing. It is well worth it, even if you think, I'm going to be wasting the time. You're not. It's a brilliant thing. Is going to see a counsellor, therapy, fantastic thing.
Because it is a good thing to just talk about life. I mean, the thing is, especially in lockdown, Hive, like where people just haven't got down and got out to see their friends as much as they usually do. They've not had that kind of that relief valve to just let things out and express themselves and stuff like that. So I'm like Craig, I would always recommend it. And you know what? Sometimes just talking to a complete stranger is actually quite nice, to be honest.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I touch upon some of the stuff that Craig mentioned about, like, with work, a lot of jobs having, different programs and stuff that, you can utilize. Some do, some don't, but even the ones that do, I do touch upon, like, why some people are, hesitant to go to their employers or bosses about certain things. But yeah, I mean, it's the biggest thing, man. I think, honestly, is just to try and be there, as a friend for people that need help and need somebody to talk to. And if they're, and if there are issues that you might have, definitely, talking to somebody. But I agree to an extent what you were saying, Craig, about, like, kind of like, in a way, like, moving on. I think it's just it's difficult for some people, and it's not. And I think it's more of a almost maybe a subconscious thing. I think it's kind of like, in a way, just like with feelings, like how sometimes some people can get upset about something while other people can't or don't. It's just how you're wired. And some people, again, like, it's like I can sit here and tell you guys my feelings about just about anything in the world with no problem, and probably with finesse, with the exception of my own personal feelings, and how I'm feeling inside about stuff. You know what I mean? Whereas, my buddy, like, he has like no issues like ever talking about like how he feels inside about stuff. You know what I mean? And I'm good at it with people that I'm close to in more of a personal environment, but back to the whole point, even why I guess this was brought up, is I'm doing much better.
And that's good, man. You're through the other side, and now and this is the important thing, because honestly, folks, again, I'm not going deep or meaningful here, but honestly, you learn so much more from mistakes and life experience than you do from anything else. And the best, one of the best cliches I know is that youth is wasted on the young. It really is, because if I knew what I know now 20 years ago, right, I would have started a Lego channel as soon as YouTube was started. That's for sure.
I find psychology fascinating. I was seeing what Brick Von Baron was mentioning, and Mark also, that it's I've always been fascinated with how the mind works, and I don't know if anybody else thinks this, but like I always wonder what other people think. Like, not to be nosy or inclusive, like, just always wonder what people think. Like, I wonder what this person thinks about that, or I wonder what they think about that, or just how their psychology works in general. You know what I mean? Their day-to-day lives, and
that's kind of my job.
And how they react to other people, and I just always find it fascinating.
90% of you is done through non-verbal communications, or NVCs as we call them.
It really is.
We can tell a hell of a lot more from you than you actually think we can, just by looking at how your body reacts. Watch what you're doing.
And you don't get that from Zoom calls, folks. Believe me.
It does seem not just our community, not just the Lego community, but it just seems like in general, it's getting easier for people to talk about things and stuff like that.
Because it seems like it's not a taboo anymore. Then that's good.
It is. It's very good.
You know what I mean? There's Minark says the last few years more than most have hit people hard, because it's easy to think that the rest of the world needs support before you. That is not true. Your health is important as everyone else's.
The key thing there is as well that everyone always forgets about is, when you've got responsibilities, if you're not fit and healthy, how are you going to look after them? If you've got kids and you're not healthy, how are you going to look after them? You've got to look after yourself.
And that was the biggest thing about what happened to me, was roughly about 6, 7, 8 months into this new job. It went past mental damage. You know what I mean? Like, it was affecting me physically. Like, I started getting ready. I was kind of like having panic attacks. I was starting to hyperventilate. I was starting to have chest pains. I am quite positive if I did not leave that job, it was only a matter of time, and it probably wouldn't have been too long before I either had a heart attack, I would have had an anxiety, like a serious anxiety attack. I would have had like some type of breakdown, whether it was me crawling under a desk in like a fetal position or throwing a computer out a window. Like, something would have happened to me, and it just wouldn't have been good. So
Did you ever talk to work about this at the time? Did you ever say, guys, this is too much? Did you ever like feedback?
Yeah. It towards the end, it was definitely known. Even just reading my body language, you know what I mean? Like, I was having a really difficult time. But again, it was almost 900 apartments that I was in charge of.
Yeah.
And the general work of it is like, I can do that, man. You know what I mean? Even taking care of 900 apartments, that's a lot of people. That's a lot of water heaters that can break and flood apartments. That's a lot of heaters that cannot work. You know what I mean? That's a lot of gas issues you can have. That's a lot of stuff, man. Let me tell you, whether it's electrical, whether it's freon, gas, like there's all kinds of stuff that can go wrong. And anytime something happens, you're dealing with where people live. So it's an emergency. If there's a light that went out in the building, that's a trip hazard. So now you got to get it taken care of immediately. If somebody's locked, if the fire department come and they can't get inside the building, guess what they're doing? They're breaking the door. You know what I mean? So now I got to get a door replaced. You know what I mean? There's like so many things that was involved in my job that was completely sporadic and random that could happen that I was in charge of. And it's fine to a certain degree, but like I wasn't helped in a lot of ways. When I started the job, there was no like service manager or even an assistant there already to help like the transition. You know what I mean? So there was a lot of stuff that was involved that made it a lot more difficult. But yeah, it was known towards the end that it was definitely having its effect on me.
And I'm curious to know the feeling when you handed in your notice. Did you feel kind of euphoric about it?
Oh my gosh, dude! Like so many of my friends that I talk to about it and more on a personal level that know more details about stuff, because I don't want to like air dirty laundry online. You know what I mean? All over the internet. But yeah, a lot of them thought I was gonna like take a crap on my boss's desk or something like that. Like, I mean, but yeah, it was very euphoric, but it was really scary too, because even though I'm in a somewhat similar job, it's still a lot different. Yeah, like the whole format and everything. So it's something I've been in doing the same thing roughly for like 20 years, man. So like trying to do something completely different that's just kind of similar is a little bit stressful, but I don't care. Dude, nothing's gonna be as stressful as like what my last year has been. Yeah,
and that must be a nice feeling, then.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, and like I said, it took a good week and a half, 2 weeks before I even like could pull myself out of that mental funk that I was in, you know?
Yeah.
Like, because Greg, I've had pockets of happiness, Brick Fair, being with you guys, my wife, you know, seeing my daughter, like, but dude, I have not been happy in a long time, man. Like, just really, like, truly happy. And
when I saw you at Brick Fair, that was the happiest I'd seen you in a year. That was,
and it's like, and I was, but it would be like, okay, but then like after you stop thinking about Brick Fair, or you went back to the hotel and you're like laying down and you start thinking about stuff, like then like dread starts coming back, and you start thinking like, oh, I got to go back to this job soon or whatever, you know, like, so like I said, it took me, you know, a couple weeks to kind of pull myself out of that, and that's how I've been the last couple weeks, is almost in this normal happy place now, you know. It's weird. I don't know what to think about.
But you know what? What I always try and do, folks. My people say to me, even my manager says to me, Greg, I never quite know if you've got issues, and I say, why is that? Because you're overly optimistic, and all I say to her is, you know what? I just try and look for the best in everything. It's as simple as that. As I always say, don't think I'm being foolish. But I always try and look for the good in everything, even if I'm doing something mundane.
And that's so good, Greg. And you're so good at that. You know, you're such a good, positive person when it comes to that.
And I like being around positive people, and I also like being around people that maybe aren't so positive, because you know you need balance in the life.
Yes, you do need balance,
but everyone ultimately, do you know what? I know someone, good friend of mine, and do you know what? If you met him, you'd probably think, blimey, he's a bit grisly, isn't he? But you know what? But I know he's happy. That's the thing. Do you know what I mean? In his own way. I know what makes him happy. I know the certain terminology he uses when he's happy and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So everyone kind of has different ways of showing happiness. I'm a bit loud when it comes to being happy. That's the thing. So, but equally, people know when I'm miserable as well. But do you know what I mean? It's just about enjoying the nice things in life, because really, folks, right? Life is pretty mundane when you stand back and look at the whole thing. Mm-hmm. So
it really is.
Times like this, they're very special to me. I know I live stream a lot, folks, but every single live stream I do, I take a little sample from it of happiness. And I try, and honestly, I always try and do it. I always think of something where there's maybe super happy or very proud, or when you get that warm fuzzy feeling inside, and I try and take that and I try and put it in a capsule. I can hear you, Craig. See, Craig outwardly he's a funny one, but he's a cheeky chappy. I know what he's kind of like. And it's we're all different, and that's what makes life interesting. It wasn't that long ago, Brandon, that I thought of a couple of things that I wanted to do.
Yeah.
Before I came thinking into Lego and doing that, first of all, I was going to put beehives, funny enough, down here in my garden. And I was seriously thinking about doing that. I even called, honestly, folks, look it up. What did I call it? British bees. Yeah, britishbees.com. I even took that website.
Some fresh honey.
Yeah, for honey. So that's me. That's britishbees.com, folks. That's me. I've never done honey in my life. Probably never will, but I've still got it anyway. Some big company will come along and say, "Can we buy it off you?" And then I thought, well, I can't do that. And then I genuinely thought about psychology, and I even thought about building a cabin down here and turning it into a room where people come over, they sit down, they look out at a forest. It's all quite chilled out and stuff like that, and just talk, And then I found I got into Lego and stuff like that. But very soon after getting into Lego, I realized very soon after that I wanted to do live streams. And the reason I wanted to do live streams is because I get to meet other people, talk to other people.
Yeah.
And the great thing about that is you talk about the good things, the bad things, and the ugly things in life. And that's good because we all feel it from time to time, and we all love Lego. And it's a nice safe environment. You know what I mean? It's just a safe environment. We're all human, like Liz said. We're all just human. All we are, folks, right? Is a bunch of chemicals thrown together, right? And you could be happy one day, and you can have a dodgy night's sleep and wake up the next day and feel like a dog. You just never know what's coming. You never know what's around the corner, and that equally is exciting as well as being bloody scary at the same time.
Indeed.
Get back to Lego and the fact that hobbies are good in general because they're a distraction from real life and work.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
And Lego very rarely. I mean, everyone try this; it does work. But if you start building a set or mocking, whatever you do, or even sorting pieces, you very rarely think about other things. You can't concentrate. They call it a shift between your left and right hemisphere, where you literally. I've talked about this with people recently, but when you do therapy, you'll do things like breathing exercises. You don't need to tell yourself to be able to breathe. It does it. But once you get the sort of half of the brain that is used to telling you to suddenly get up out of the chair, because that's not a natural occurrence, to tell the other half exactly how to do something it already knows, you sort of get them to blend together and it calms your mind. It's the same thing with any anxiety or anything you're dealing with. And that's what the Lego does. When you sat there building with the Lego, your brain's having to tell yourself to do so much stuff that you can't really focus on anything else, which is probably why we all like building as a stress relief.
Yeah, 100%. And do you know what, Hive? I reckon you can relate to this as well. The only other time I'm in this zone, right, of building Lego, like how Craig just described it, is when I'm reading comics. It's the only other time I'm taken away, or if I'm listening to an album, like proper sitting down on a sofa doing nothing else other than really trying to get under the skin of what the artist is trying to say. And I'm like that with comics, and the only other thing I'm like that with is Lego.
Same with cinema, though. When we talk about the cinema experience being taken away from us, when you are at home watching a film, forget the big screen and all the popcorn and all the other stuff. When you sat home, you can be distracted. Yeah. But you very rarely get distracted when you're in the cinema. It's like everyone's got to be quiet. You're not allowed to use your phone. You sit there and you just watch the film. So they're more enjoyable because you're immersed in it, aren't you? And I think that's the value of something like that, not necessarily the big screen.
Well, and Lego has something a little extra. It's like building a puzzle. You have a completion type thing. You know what I mean? You're building up to something, and then you get to that. So you have like this sense of accomplishment. I also had the same feeling when I used to be a painter, and not like painting like a picture, but like painting buildings and stuff. Like, I don't know what it was, but like you go to this big, huge building. Sometimes it was an industrial building, sometimes it was a commercial, sometimes it was just a house, but you'd see it before you start. But then once you finished, you know, and you go through the work, paint and trim, and then you get your sprayer and you tape stuff up. And but once it was done and you pulled all the stuff off and everything, man, it was like this beautiful looking building now. You know what I mean? And I imagine it's similar to Lego, to building a puzzle, to, you know, you complete these things, but it's also, like you said, your mind is distracted, but yet blends in with both hemispheres. That's actually a really good way to,
and you get that sense of accomplishment as well.
Yep, exactly.
Which, by the way, you never got when you was building that Lamborghini.
No, I didn't. As a matter of fact, I think I went backwards. Because remember, I had to take it back apart. Oh man, that Lamborghini! Oh gosh, I can't wait to get rid of that thing.
That's funny, man. That was funny.
Yeah, but while you were stressing over that, while you were stressing over the Lamborghini, you weren't stressing about anything else. I'll tell you that.
No. When I was stressed about that Lamborghini, I was focused on that Lamborghini. You know, and I look back now, and I know I joke around, and you know, everybody knows I don't really care for Technic that much in general. But I look back and I'm like, why did I even buy it? I was already in the frame of mind how I much prefer like creator expert vehicles than like Technic vehicles and stuff. And I just cannot for the life of me. I don't know if it's just because I still think it's a pretty car.
Yeah, you wanted it instantly. As soon as it came out, you was like, Greg, I've got to have that.
And even when I got it, I was excited. And even when I started building it, but I think that's what it was when I started building it.
Yeah.
Because I don't think I ever really built a Technic set before that, man.
I'm pretty sure I was with you when you started building that. And then we streamed for a few hours, whatever it is we were doing. I can't remember. It might have been a Hive morning stream or whatever it was.
Right.
And I remember it was like a 3-hour long stream. We got to the end of it, and you built like something about that big. And I could see your face. You was like, "This is." We worked out that it was going to take you a certain amount of time to build.
Yeah.
Then we did this long stream, and you built something that was about that big, and you said, "I think it's going to take me a bit longer." And I thought, you ain't wrong.
I mean, like, because there's obviously some Technic in just about all kinds of different Lego sets that we build and all that. But I'm like, I remember looking, and I'm like, what is all this, man? Like, like this isn't like 1x2 plates and bricks. And it's like, what? But yeah, and that's when I was definitely like, yeah, never again.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's the moment you thought, "Oh, I don't really like Technic. Get out of this."
And I've had this debate with a few different people, man. And I know some people don't like it when I say it, but I'm like, dude, Technic is ugly, man. Like once in a while, you get something that looks kind of pretty, but I'm like, why would you want a Technic Lamborghini over a creator expert Lamborghini? Like you can't even put a windshield in a Technic Lamborghini, man. Like, I mean,
some people love Technic, man.
I know. And like their bikes look great. I think like the excavator type stuff looks really cool.
Yeah.
But I'm just every time I see a car, I'm like, man, that could be so much prettier if it was like snot Technique or something. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, like the new Batmobile. I'd like to have seen that in a creator.
But to each their own, you know. Yeah, I have this Lamborghini, and I'm going to trade it to Blocksmith for a freight train and a bunch of extra stuff with it, man. I kid, you know what I mean? Like, I don't really like Technic, but I don't take a crap on stuff people like, man. If people like it, that's great. Yeah. There's a lot of people, man, that would never buy a Star Wars set. And Star Wars, it makes my heart beat.
Well, look at it this way. You like the 1989 Batmobile, didn't you?
See, yeah, that's a weird one, right? Because that's not a creator expert car.
No,
but
it's not.
Is it technically is it a
really.
Technic car? Or is
No,
or is it its own thing that's got kind of both mixed in with it?
It's a combo, isn't it? It's a combo. Thinking about it.
But if we didn't, the thing is with a lot of the sets, even the small sets, if they didn't keep pushing the envelope of Technic, we wouldn't reap the benefits in the system sets.
And because look, one thing I will say, without a doubt, I respect Technic. I don't really like it. It's not my bag of tea, you know what I mean? But like, I respect it because one, it is some extremely crazy good builds. Like, I might not like a lot of the cosmetic stuff to do with it, but to say that the builds aren't good, and dude, show me someone that can break a Technic set. I feel like I could throw my Lamborghini off my roof, man, and it'd be in one piece when it hit the ground, man.
Yeah, they're well made.
And we wouldn't have a lot of sets that I love without Technic. You know, they're the backbone of a lot of sets. You know,
I mean, all the slave ones, the recent shuttles and stuff like that. And they're solid, man. They're fabulous.
Right. So, to the Technic lovers out there, please don't misinterpret like just because I joke around and stuff, man, that I just absolutely can't, stand it. It's just I'm just generally like, nah. But I feel the same way about mini dolls. So,
I like mini dolls. I honestly, and someone the other day on Instagram, they did a couple of Star Wars figures. No, so it wasn't Star Wars. It was Spider-Man figures as mini dolls, and they look good, man. They look good. Just saying. Yeah, they look good. And I tell you what, right? I would love to see. Right, I'm just throwing it out there, folks. Let me know if you think this is a good idea, or maybe it might trigger a few people. I don't know. Give me a face to Commander Cody, right, in the form of a mini doll. See what happens.
That's just cruelty. That's just.
They want to lose their mind.
Yeah, you want to see him sweat.
I was just reading Bricky's comedy, like that set up. I'm subscribing to Brick Hive. Like I could just see, like all this time, like I've been like. People are probably like, man, that Brick Hive's great. He's talking about really important stuff. Doesn't like Technic. It's just like the last 45 minutes of stuff we talked about doesn't mean anything. But yeah, it definitely has its purpose. That's for sure.
Do you know what? When I built all that part of the Millennium Falcon on a live stream, do you know what? I thoroughly enjoyed it. The Technic side of it. I was actually, when I finished it, I was like, that was weird. I enjoyed that, like really enjoyed it. So I don't know. I've got the original rally car that I built or bought, I should say, about 2 years ago. And do you know what? I fancy building it. I really do. Just to kind of get it out of my chest, get it off my chest. To see if I, maybe I'll do it one day if we do like a big car build or something like that. Hive.
Yeah, we're due for one, man. It's been a little while, huh?
Yeah, I suppose we could always do it after the one after the Hogwarts Express.
Well, I need to get one first. I don't think I got any more cars to build, but I can tell you this: maybe after the DeLorean comes out, would be a good time.
Ooh. I tell you what, right? Because everyone's going to be up for getting the DeLorean, but I might build. We could always do one of those streams where you build the DeLorean and I build the Ecto 1.
Oh, you still got the Ecto 1? You haven't built that, right?
Yeah, I wasn't going to buy it, right? But over Christmas,
no, I remember.
Yeah, over Christmas they were selling it in Argos, which is a department store here in the UK, and they were selling it at 50% off. And I was like, I'd be mad not to buy it. And that was when the movie was out. I was like, that's weird.
Yeah. No, it was such a wonderful build, man. I loved it so much. The only thing is I didn't put the stickers on it that made it look dirty and everything. I wanted it to look more new. Also, I love Simon's comment. Technic is great, but it doesn't help with stress levels, dude. For someone like me, man, I started building Technic sets, and I'm like,
it's so true. Honestly, it's so true.
But I will say though, you have to be a good builder to build Technic sets.
Yeah,
like,
well, Matt Elder,
Matt
Elder's right into it. He is, and. He's an exceptionally good builder as well. Do you ever look? I mean, Craig, you're an exceptional builder too, mate. Have you, especially when it comes to doing mocks and things like that? Have you? Do you ever do anything like the 1999 Batmobile, where you kind of build a kind of chassis of Technic and then do it, or do you always go into the book first?
You broke up then, I didn't hear what you said.
Sorry. Do you go into the brick first, or do you do like or do you ever have you ever started a mock or anything like that where you've gone sort of with Technic stuff first, built the chassis of it, and then gone for the
Oh yeah, all the time. I've got other Technic sets. I built the bucket wheel is probably the biggest one I've done with all the complicated gearing, and everyone was sweating over it and saying how hard it was, and I was like, it's a doddle. Because the key to Technic stuff is actually you've got to pay more attention. You can't just build like we build normal system sets, because you've got to count the holes, you've got to count the stuff, you've got to really sit there, you've got to turn the gears. A lot of people make this mistake. Turn the gears every step that you do, make sure they're turning, because if you have to go back, like you say, taking them apart is a nightmare. I mean, when I took the bucket wheel apart for the bits that I needed, the yellow cogs for my Aquazone thing, I came back to it about, I don't know, a couple of months later, found this box. It still had pieces of the bucket wheel still attached in, because I'd got fed up of trying to take the thing apart. And that's the only reason why I don't buy as many Technic sets, is because you don't get enough pieces in it that I can use. I'd end up with, like, I've already got like tons of beams that I'm never going to use.
Yeah.
But all the underneath of Arkham because I brick built it rather than like use wood for the tunnel, all there is Technic to hold it up. So it was Technic first, and then all the plates on top.
Yeah. Oh, dude. I mean, it looks good, but to know you've built that chassis behind it must look amazing. Like in strength, in terms of strengthening and stuff like that.
Yeah, well, I've done it before with the Batcave, because one of the things that I wanted to do with the Batcave was have the studs showing for the roof, not the anti-studs, because I want to hang the bats from it and put rocks coming down. So to do that, one of the techniques that I've used is where you get a Technic beam and the other Technic beam, and you pin them together back to back, if you know what I mean. I don't know if I've got any handy. It's not an illegal technique, but it works, because you can then play it across the sort of stud versions and create a normal studded technique across the top. There's a little bit of an awkward gap between them, but you don't see it. So I've done that before, because it creates a lot of strength, and that's probably why I'll get a load of these art Technic 16x16 blocks with the next lug bolt, because that's another good one that'll you can be able to flip that and pin it up, opposite way around to the outer frame. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically,
is there like any books out there that are on that or anything like that? Cheers, Mod.
I'll show you. Look, so it's basically this, if no one getting what I'm saying. So that's your normal Technic beam that you're going to have building up on your brick wall, and then you just pin the other one that way.
Oh, yeah.
And then you can put a plate across them, because it sticks out a little bit, and you've instantly got studs on the bottom and studs on the top.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
So if you imagine the art block, which is about the same size as a brick, that'll be really strong. You won't have to do a lot of plating. So it's a cheaper way of creating that. That's
stuff a good mock builder knows, man. I'm glad you share stuff like that.
That's what I mean.
I just try stuff, basically, as well as learning from the sets, which again goes back to our conversation modulars, because there's so many techniques on modulars to learn from. Like the barrel on the detective's office, putting 1x3 plates on side what is a Technic gear, and then around that is the tread. You got to know your stuff to think of stuff like that, which is them Lego designers get paid a lot of money for. But there are stuff as well which takes us back to the mental health, where just try them. When you're like on a stream or talking to somebody, I do this all the time, and I'm just like clicking bricks or trying different things. It's like twiddling your thumbs or twiddling your hair to a degree. Just seeing what works. I get parts out all the time and do weird stuff like this. I've done this before, where you've got one of those that holds the plate in for the sliding.
Yeah.
And you can put the other one in the other way around and mess about with it. So two of them go together and they fit perfectly.
Oh, wow.
Just crazy stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's a cool system. Here, let me show you a cool part. Believe it or not, folks, we're only an hour in, and I've already done 2 bags. There's only 3 bags of this set. I've got a thing about vehicles. Let me just pop that on there, and I can show it like that. I've got a thing about vehicles that are this sort of shape. I think it goes back.
Yeah.
it plugs into the Thunderbirds in me that I love, Craig.
Yeah.
There's just something about vehicles like this I absolutely love. There's a smaller one of these that comes with a Safari set that I fancy getting. I've had to fancy getting. I've already got it. I've got it in the sale a little while ago. I had that for a plate.
Yeah, those are great.
Yeah,
it's amazing, isn't it?
I love the wide cab of those trucks, man.
I know.
I love how wide they are.
Have you got?
You could. I mean, you might be able to cram 3 minifigs in that thing, man.
Have you got a normal brick there to hand, Greg?
A normal what? Sorry, dude?
Normal brick. Any normal brick?
What, 2x4 or something like that?
Anything. Get that plate that you just had.
Yeah. Okay.
It'll actually fit. The bricks will fit through those little grates if you didn't know
really?
that. Yep.
Oh. The bricks will fit through that. Well,
yeah, that's studs.
Oh, I see.
So you can actually attach it.
Oh yeah, it's got clutch power.
It's weird, isn't it?
Look at that, folks. Look, Lego think of everything. Look, it's a 1x2. And
I never knew they did that either, man.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it?
It even does that little click as well. Look, listen to this.
It's like they've actually designed the crosses to fit the studs. They haven't just put crosses in it. They've designed the crosses to fit the studs.
Oh, weird. Oh, just dropped one. Let me go and get it. I was just seeing if I can attach these. Now, yeah, you can. Look, you can attach those to it and all sorts.
Yep.
How cool is that?
Yeah, that had to have been intentional.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. That's really cool. But Craig, things like that, I just would not know.
Yeah, well, they bring out really cool pieces, don't they? And people miss them sometimes. I know some of these have warped in some sets, but this one is like, it's revolutionary because it's a plate in the middle of a Technic brick. So if you're doing cars, you'll have seen it in the newer Batmobile as well.
Oh, cool.
They're just like, they come up with this stuff and you just think, you can now get a Technic pin and a wheel and a car, and you can have it. You don't have to mess around with the different height. You've got a split in the middle. It's that useful. I bought that many.
Brick Hive, where are you at with your city at the minute?
Well, my forest is pretty much done. I need to build a couple more big trees to put in there, and I have my graveyard and just like a couple small things. So once the forest is done, I'll move on to the desert area, which is pretty much kind of done. Depending on what Boba Fett's palace looks like, and I got to put my surf shop on there. But then I got to put the beach in. So the city's the last thing I'll be putting in. And even then, it's going to take some time because I'm going to put everything on Mills plates and I'm going to use those new roads.
Yeah, man.
So that means I got to take all my other modulars and I guess very carefully, I don't know how that's going to go, put them on Mills plates.
Yeah, I've got that to do as well. Craig, have you got any? Yeah,
it's not that difficult. You just literally, you can. The good thing about Mills is I've got one here.
Oh,
okay. I showed you before.
We've been talking. Me and Craig have been talking about this all weekend.
So you've got your modular, aren't you? All you've got to do is, because these are so flexible, just peel it. Try and keep as much as the brick wall as you can. Just peel it off.
Wait. So you're saying flip the modular upside down and peel that off?
That bottom one, yeah. It's easier when you look at where the base plates are because they're not Lego.
And yeah, you're right. I guess you take off the other floors. It's not as bad, yeah.
But because this isn't Lego and it hasn't got the same clutch power, it's quite easy to peel it off.
Okay, that does make me feel a lot better because I was just like, man, that's going to be a nightmare, dude.
Yeah.
Put it in a vise first and then...
I've done a few and it's just getting the tiles off, but like you say, use a brick separator to get the tiles off.
And I'm not even using all of my modulars. I'm using pretty much most of the newer ones. I think the older ones I'm going to keep either on a shelf or using more of my stop motions or something like that.
Yeah, I put the track in the road as well so that the track runs through the road, and realized that when the track comes off the road, it's too close to allow you to do your ballast properly. So then I had to literally go back to all my Mills track and lift it up another plate so that when it comes off at this corner, it's got another plate underneath it for me to put ballast on, which meant that I had to go back to all my modulars, and instead of going a brick and a plate, I had to go a brick, a plate, and a plate.
Okay.
So after the fact. So I was like, oh no, but actually it was dead easy because it just does this. You add the plates on and then you just stick it back together again.
Oh, nice.
That's my bag of mills.
Yeah. I'm good on. I'm stocked on a lot of just regular used parts I can use for that stuff. I'm lucky enough for that. Hey, Sidious, how you doing, man?
Hey, Sidious, good to see you, dude. I haven't seen much of you this weekend.
Save on parts for an entire beach. I've already got the beach built, Sidious. It's in my truck, actually.
Good to see you, Sidious. Anyone who's just popped in as well? Sorry. Oh, sorry, Craig. I was only going to say, if anyone wants to check out who's in the panel today, please do check out the description below. I'll be putting Hives in afterwards. Craigster, you'll find him on Twitch as well as Instagram. Hives on Instagram. He's on Twitter. And do you know what? Craig's even on Twitter as well. And you know what? If you just popped in, do us a favor. Give us a thumbs up. Sorry, Craig. Back to you, dude.
Yeah, that beach one was the one you did and took to a convention, didn't you?
Yeah, it was when I took the Brick Fair, Virginia.
Was that the first time you'd ever done anything like that, or had you done stuff before?
Yeah, it was the first time. I've been to Brick Fair many times, but it was just generally as a public visitor.
Because for a first attempt, even I was drooling over that beach.
Thank you. Well, I don't know if it counts or not because I technically I didn't build it for Brick Fair. Like it was part of my city. Now I kind of revamped it and redid a lot of it for Brick Fair. And then I had to make it detachable and all this other stuff. But the only reason I built it is because I thought that in order to do the 5-day thing and to have like a table and all this, like you had to have a mock. So I was like, all right, well, let me just take my beach and I'll redo it up and stuff. But thanks, I appreciate it. But yeah, it's I'm really proud of it, and I have to always give credit to Bricks for Chris and to the guys at Brick Vault because Brick Vault, I saw their city, their beach, and the way they did the depth, the way they made the depth look in the water was absolutely incredible. They used like different color plates underneath. So I used that idea, and then Bricks for Chris actually showed me about because I was just doing like my tiles like kind of normal. And he showed me this pattern to use that makes it look like when you move this light, when it shines on it, it just looks like water rippling.
Yeah, I've watched all them.
Yeah,
I used to watch it.
Yeah,
when he used to expand his modulars and his landscaping, it was unbelievable.
It's amazing stuff. And that's one of the other things that's so great about our community, man. Like just a second ago, you showed us a couple things that I think Greg hasn't either, but I never even knew about, man. I didn't know you could do that. And you learn so much from all these other builders, man. It's so cool, man. When people share techniques.
I would pay to go on a Lego course on techniques.
For sure.
Really would.
As a matter of fact, I don't know who would do it, but if anybody's good enough at teaching and good enough at Lego and knows their parts, man, that would be a good stream to have, man.
Man, I'd
love about that. Like, like it could be, I don't know how you would work it out. You know what I mean? Maybe a member stream or something like that. But like, yeah, like to teach
Craig, do you want to teach us on one of our ones?
Teach you on Discord. Get on his Discord.
I was genuinely thinking though for the members. I was thinking to get a few times a year of getting people on that do specific things. Like Cabbage, who's out there at the moment, right? He's really good at doing like designer programs and stuff like that, like IO. And getting him on for an hour and just showing people how it's done. Like members, it's a private, intimate thing. Right. And that's the sort of thing I want to do for my members. So if anyone's interested in that, folks, there's a members button down below. So feel free to join that. But, because I want to get something out of it as well. And, you want to give a bit of value and stuff like that. But you know what? One of these things is you get one thing you realize that is very precious. And I reckon you must have felt this quite a lot, especially when you was kind of in your last role, Hive, is that time is very precious.
Yes.
Your own personal time, and it's that time to breathe, and energize again. It's important.
Hey, Brickbods out there, hello.
Hey, Big Bards. Good to see you.
Carrie.
Yeah, that's it's a good point, Greg.
I'm doing some. It's almost like Technics. This is, but it's there's some sort
It's
of
an actuator.
It's an actuator. What was it, like an inline actuator or something like that? Because it only goes in one direction. So
yeah, there's two types that Lego do. That one and a bigger one that's got like a metal tube in it with grease and stuff.
This Technic talk does remind me also of when I had bought bins and bins of Lego not long after I came out of my dark ages. One of the things that I kept coming across, and I had no clue what they were at the time, was Bionicle stuff. And dude, Bionicle has the most insane looking pieces I've ever seen.
Yeah, 100%. Everything was insane about Bionicle, I found.
Dude, and I one of Ryan's friends that I became friends with, his name's Sean. He asked me about like, hey, if you got any Bionicle pieces getting rid of, let me know. So, dude, I like collected all the ones I could find, man. And I got like a whole box I'm gonna send to him. And yeah, it's crazy though. Like some of those pieces.
Hive, can I just say something, right? Because I get a lot of people saying to me, Greg, you really should do more pop-in poly bags, and I will be doing more of that sort of thing, folks. I really will. I promise you.
Yeah.
It doesn't get many views, but it's one of those things I like doing. Do you know what I mean? You do it for the love of it.
Yeah.
But one of the things I loved, one of the series I love about in your channel that you did, you used to do a series of special parts that you kind of
the long haul.
The long haul. I love those because for me, that was a very educational thing to watch. And I was like, well, Gel, when you had that one that you took batteries and it lit up and it made sounds and stuff like that.
I think I got it right behind my laptop. I think it was the space shuttle piece or something.
Yeah, it was. I love that series. Honestly, I love learning stuff, folks. I work in I work in IT, and I love learning. It's just something I love. I just love stuff.
That's the main reason why I did that. Because two things. I was like, wow, these are really interesting. Like here's that. This might be the piece you're talking about.
Yes, that's the one. Show us it. This is Craig. It's magic. I want it. I've got to get it. I've got to buy it.
Greg, I'll probably give it to you. Like, I have no use for it, man. I don't have a Bricklink store. I don't sell this stuff. You know what I mean? Like, if it was worth like $100, I'd probably sell it online or something. But but yeah, the long haul was like two things. I was like, wow, this is really cool stuff, man. I was like, I wonder if anybody else would like to see this. And then I was like, what is it? And I was like, well, that's the other great thing. I was like, maybe someone will know. You know what I mean? Because I learned a lot about it as well. Dude, I have like so many different clone troopers from like the kids that must have had it, you know what I mean? That the parents that bought it off of and everything. And I don't know which one's which. I remember Will, I think it was Will that told me, and like I had a thumbnail, and he's like, dude, you have like 4 different clone troopers put together. Because I had just put the wrong ones together. So like the torso wasn't right to the legs or but yeah, it was definitely an educational thing.
I loved it. Honestly, I'd love you to go back and do something similar to that again.
I've been thinking about it. It's something I just have to go through all my videos to see like, oh, did I already do this piece or did I already do this piece?
You do know, don't you? I always used to think, how do people forget what they've already done? And then, my God, you do 500 videos, folks. And believe me, you forget what you've done.
Yeah, dude, I've really reached up there. I just noticed Amazon just pulled up in front of my house. I'm trying like, I did. I ordered something. You want to see what I ordered?
Yeah, man. Just don't forget. Hide your address. Hide your address.
All right. Yeah, I'll hide my address.
Right, let's have a look and see what Craig's up to.
Where is it?
Oh, I like your T-shirt, by the way. That's proper old school 70s stuff.
Oh, what, the Marvel shirt?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, I've never ordered anything like this. And it's I'm excited. Is
it hair straighteners or something?
Hold on. I'm trying to make sure I can get the picture. Oh, come on.
You can go get the box, open it up, and let's show us.
No, I haven't actually. I just ordered it. It's not here yet.
Okay.
But I just did a screenshot so I can make the picture bigger.
All right, good man. Oh yeah, I was a bit disappointed last night, Craig, that I got I didn't spot who was you in that picture that you sent me.
Oh man, there it goes. I ordered me a custom minifig.
Hey! Is that
yes, it's Phase 2 Cody.
Phase 2 Cody.
But it was I bought it off of Republic Bricks, and it was on sale. You know, so I was like, yeah, this is a good time to buy that, man.
I think there's a few people getting into these.
Oh, and I also bought some stickers from Claire. You know,
I'm seeing these around. I need to get some of these stickers as well.
And I was like, I wonder if they're going to be like collector's items too, man. Like if she will discontinue them eventually or whatever. But you know, me and stickers, I figured like my next laptop or something, they'd go on there.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you know, it's also, I try to support as many people as I can. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I felt bad. I was subscribed to Ryan for a long time, and I just unsubscribed or unmembered him so I can be a member to other people.
Yeah, but
like I'm trying to spread my membership around.
That's what you got to do sometimes, though. You got to sort of spread the love. I mean, I honestly would, if someone like you know, someone's quite, they do a lot. They give you some value back into it. They give you their time, then you don't mind. But I think. Yeah, you know, everyone's different. Everyone's got to put their money in different places and stuff like that. So, it's just the thing. It's where you put your money, isn't it? And it's not like you and Ryan don't get on or anything like that. You guys are buddies, so you know it's it's just one of those things. You got to share the love out sometimes. And
of course,
I'm very fortunate. You're a member of member of me, and I'm a member.
Of course,
we turn that sort of thing, you know.
And there's a lot more. Obviously, I'd like to be as well, but you know, I'm trying to, like I said, spread it around as much as I can.
Exactly. And you know, what I'm interested to know a little bit about, without prying, of course, is you know, with you and Mrs. Hive and stuff like that. Now, you know, did because everyone when they're going through tough times and that, one of the things that is can come from the strangest of places as well, but what everyone always needs all the time, I feel, is support.
Yeah.
And you know, was she? And I'm sure she was, but was she very important in the process of you kind of, how can I put it, changing and going through that, starting that transition?
Yeah. She months before I actually did quit, she was already telling me to quit.
Yeah,
like because she more than anybody felt the effects of what it did to me, besides me, of course. But like, to say that there are definitely times that I was in a dark place, whether it be like I was angry or I was just really, really depressed, like just really sad, like not even like mad or anything, just like so sad, dude. Like, because sometimes, certain times, man, you don't see any kind of light at the end of a tunnel. You don't know if there's a way out. Like, you don't know what to do. You start like, and again, I talk about some of this, but like depression and certain things, like it makes you, or anxiety, like makes you overanalyze things. You know, whether it's your health or your job or anything. So there's definitely a lot of times, she, you know, really helped me out and supported me and ways that she could have been like, man, you're acting like blah blah blah, and I can't put up with you right now or something. So she was always supportive, and even down to the point where I was so scared, you know, to quit, because then I'm like, okay, then we're not gonna have income. Plus, we just bought this house. You know what I mean? Like, there was a lot of stuff going on. But she was there for me, and she was just like, look, we'll figure it out. You know, we'll get through it, you know. So yeah, she definitely was a huge, you know, supporter and
like a rock, you know. And everyone needs them, folks, even in good times, you know. You know, I'm definitely one of these people. I wake up at like 3 o'clock in the morning, and you know, you get demons in your head, and you know, all that negativity is there. I don't know, I never know why it's always there at night, but I know that is a thing. A lot of people go through that sort of stuff as well. You know? It's just part and parcel of being a human, I suppose.
Yeah. I mean, and the biggest thing too, one of the biggest things that I got out of all of this was you really need to be good to yourself. Like, you really need to take care of yourself. Be good to yourself. Don't be so hard on yourself. Don't beat yourself up. You know what I mean? Like, don't think just the worst things about yourself, and because that's why it took me so long to get out of that, because I was so scared to come to people about it because I didn't want to bother them. And it's like, look, no, your friends are there for you. They're going to be there for you. You know what I mean? Like, but I just kept beating myself up because I was like, why am I complaining? I have like all this stuff. There's no reason I should be unhappy. And, you know, but that doesn't mean you can't have things wrong. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. It's just, it's materials. That's all it is. We're not going to take it with us, folks. That's for sure. But something you definitely can't take with you is money.
Right.
Redman, dude, thank you so much. £1.99. I really massively appreciate that. I really
super
do.
Sticker, super duper.
Do you know? I think he's the only one that actually ever does super stickers for me. I love a super sticker. I really do. And do you know what? Seeing as it's a super sticker, it deserves a very, very bit of Superman. And Superman, here he comes.
Easy, miss. I've got you.
You've got me. Who's got you? I can't believe it. I just cannot believe it. He got her.
I believe it. He got her.
I cannot believe it, Craig. She got her.
I don't know why I didn't notice that before in the background. I can't.
Yeah, I just left it in there. I was like, I normally do like phase it out, and then it's just someone in the 70s with this cigarette going, I can't believe it. He got her. He actually got her like this. I thought I'm going to leave that in. That's quite nice. That
Craig, wasn't it you that did you put me and Greg's face on that?
Yeah, on the Superman one. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, that was so great.
I love that one. Craig, Craig, you should send that to me. I'll use that as a super chat. I've got to do the same, Craig. I'm going to have to ask you what tech you use for that, because I got a nickname for Craig, which is not Captain Caveman, but Captain Craigman. And I got to do one of him with his face on it.
He kind of does it on Filmora.
Oh, does he? Oh, I'll have to. We've got Filmora. He must be doing the old key thing that they call it.
Yeah.
But anyway, let me put actually let's have a look at. Tell us a little bit about what you're building, Craig, because it looks monumental.
Yeah, it's Wayne Manor. I'm just trying to do the stairs.
It's Wayne Manor.
Wayne Manor.
So it certainly isn't Moss Isley, is it?
So I put some curtains in, and this basically when I did it the first time, and I put the Home Alone Doll's House thing on it. When it was opening up, it was going to catch all the scenery. So now I've brought that up. Then I realised that the floor would be too low. So when they were coming in the door, I'd have had to put a lot more plates in. So I raised all them up, I've done an extra Mills brick up there. This bit is the tricky bit because that is where the lift comes from the back cave. So I've got to make sure that I leave the right amount of space on it. Because obviously, you know what happens at the top of a lift. You've got the engine and everything. It's got to have a higher thing. So that's why it's like that. This bit here is where it's going to be the bookcase. So you press the piano, because I like that one in Batman Begins. And then the bookcase will slide open so they can go there. I'm just putting this bit, which is where Alfred goes down the stairs, because the stairs are like on the back cave. They're here to get to the back cave, so you don't have to use the lift. And that's like a nod to Batman Forever, I think, is the one where Robin finds his way in there by sliding down the banister to get to the secret entrance.
Love it.
I think so.
Yeah, so
that was definitely the one with Robin in it. Batman Forever.
So yeah, it's just the difficulty with this is why it's taking so long is because it has to be built to be transported. So this section here is half of Wayne Manor, and the other section. So if I did Wayne Manor in full piece, it'd be too big to get in the car.
Yeah,
and I like to be able to get to the shows and basically take it out of the car, put it on the table, mess around for about half an hour, and job done. I don't like to be setting up for hours and hours on end. And likewise, I like it to be that strong.
Right.
When I take it off the table, put it back in the car, I can do that really quickly. I can get out, get on the road, and then I don't have the problem that I found when I first did shows where you get out real quick. Because literally, if anyone's done a show, you get hours and hours to set up, but you get hardly any time to tear down. So you just get it out, chuck it in the car or the van or whatever you're doing, truck in Hive's case, get home, leave it there for a bit because you're like, oh, I've had enough of it for now. And then next time you come to a show, you realize it's in like bits everywhere from the trip back. So I like
dude.
Yeah.
Because you get like at Brick Fair, you get Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. You basically get like almost 3.5 days almost, man, really to set up.
Yeah.
But like when it's time to break down, man. Now my stuff was pretty quick, but I heard that you get until late kind of in the evening, but you still
want to be out of there, don't you?
You still gotta get out of there, man. Because even if you take later in the evening, like you still gotta go home. And I was one of the even fortunate ones because I was only like an hour or so away.
Wow.
Yeah, sometimes you can be like, well, if it's Bricktastic, it's 2 hours and a half. You just want to be out, done. And the thing is as well, you help other people because there's like friends of mine that have got a really big city that they put up, and that's got to all be packed up and taken down. So you want to be able to help them, but you don't want to like again spend hours doing yours and then think, I feel bad because I've got to go and I can't help them do it. So
yeah, and dude, and some of those guys, man, like we'll just take like Rich Boy J for instance. Like, I can't imagine, and I don't even know what the hell I was doing during Brick Fair when he was setting stuff up because I know you're doing one thing, and next thing you know, man, like bam, there it is. Or even like the guys at Brickmania setting up the giant aircraft carrier. Like, dude, like it's so crazy the time it takes to set that stuff up. And the one that Rich Boy J did, man, that the First Order, Star Killer base, like that thing was so huge.
Was it?
Yeah.
Well, I watched him building it for ages,
dude. But then you see it up close, like you see it in person, and I was like,
the more you do it, the better you get at it. Basically, the more you do them, you try and. A lot of people build stuff, but they don't think about transportation. And the Batcave, and wait, man, if I want to take it somewhere, it's so big. There's no way it's going to survive in one thing. So it's the Batcave split into 3 sections, and then Wayne Manor's in 2 on the top.
Are you doing 2 floors?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. There's 2 floors and an attic, because I'm putting the Brothor Welcome to New Asgard in the loft as a little nod to Marvel in Batman's loft.
Clever, mate. That is a nice touch, actually.
Yeah, it is. It is.
This is the roof.
That explains why it's always thunder and lightning in.
This is the roof, so it should fit in there quite nicely.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, that's pretty funny. All right, I do apologize, but I have to go.
I'm surprised you've been here for this long, hour and a half. I thought you was only kind of come here for 10 minutes.
Yeah. No, time kind of flew by. But yeah, I just got a message from Mrs. Hive, so I got to jet. But I guess I'll see you on Thursday, right? Or not Thursday, Saturday.
Saturday. Yeah, I was gonna say Thursday. Where'd you get that one from?
I don't know what's going on. Something different going on Thursday. But yeah, thanks for having me on, man. I appreciate it, and thanks for the talk.
Are you got any other live streams this week, or are you doing any videos coming out you want to plug?
The only thing I can say for sure that I mean, because I got a lot of stuff kind of working at the moment, but the only thing I can say for sure, maybe tonight, maybe tomorrow, I'll have the editing and everything done for that work and mental health video that I've been working on. So, but besides that, I mean, I'll have some random Hive streams, and every Sunday I have Good Morning Brick World, and I'll have some videos coming out for updating the forest and all that.
Yeah, man.
But yeah.
Well, Hive, I look forward to it. I look forward to seeing you next week, 10 a.m. Part 1's on your channel, part 2's mine, and yeah, I look forward to it, man.
And I'll see you. I'll see you as well, Craigster, on Saturday. Yeah.
Can't wait for it. It's gonna be great. Hogwarts Express. It's gonna be
definitely excited.
Affair.
Definitely excited about that. Definitely excited.
Yeah,
but yeah, and everybody in the chat, thank you for being so sweet and nice and everything. I appreciate it. You guys are great. So, all right.
Yeah, take care,
Bye.
dude.
Love you guys.
Look after yourself, dude.
Will do.
Bye. Oh, but that's Brick Hive, everyone.
You nearly done now?
I haven't got too much more to do. I'm building the boon. What do you call this? The boon.
The boom arm, yeah.
The boom. So I'm building that. Just put the stickers on there. They went quite straight, actually. But yeah, no, we're doing all right. We're doing okay so far. I just let's get that over there. I just noticed my big screen keeps freezing every now and again. I must have. I've probably got too many things connected at home to the internet. But I think it's been okay. It's normally okay. It's normally even worse if I've got music running because it's trying to put even more in there. What about you, Craig? Stuff you got much more to do on your thing, or you just kind of just pick up a bit and then do it?
Yeah, I mean this is still there's still quite a lot of work to do to get everything to work. Once I've got these stairs done, I'll put it back on and see where the lifts line up.
Yeah,
and then try and work on some of the other detail. But I'm just glad I've finally got the front sort of finished and solid. So I just need to do some columns around here and some bits and bobs on that side. But it just makes it a little bit easier when you get the base done. The other floors should be not as difficult.
well, that's good. And have you got any other big sections left of it?
Yeah, the whole other side of this one isn't done. So it was done on a stream one. I can't remember which one we were doing at Christmas with the doll's house, but it now all needs to be lifting up and redoing the same as this side. But it's smaller than this side, so it's not as bad.
Okay,
It's just
good, man.
General stuff like this takes ages.
Well, it takes even longer, isn't it? If you need to buy the parts for it.
Yep, there's that as well. If you run out of the bits that you need, which is why a lot of people do use Studio.
Yeah, I suppose then you can get to a point with it where you can kind of see where you get to. Oh, that's how that works. Okay, I've never put anything like this together before. It's quite exciting.
What's that with the actuator?
Yeah, I think the last thing I used with an actuator, I haven't actually built yet. I just know because it was someone on my stream was building it. It was the Kylo Ren command shuttle, the black one. That has an actuator in it.
I bought a load of them to do the landing gear for Thunderbird 2, but I couldn't get them hidden away enough for it to work because I wanted to just... I would have had to make because the actuators are so long, the actual pieces, I'd have had to make it bigger than minifigure scale in order to hide the actuators because I wanted them to drop the legs down, you see, so you could lift it up to get the pod. It's just too difficult.
Yeah.
Maybe one day they'll bring out a new actuator.
Yeah.
Smaller one.
Hey, we've got Rosie's out there. Topic Bricks. Aiding Topic Bricks.
Hey there.
Topic Bricks, I can't ask you. I know people call you Rosie. Is that a nickname for you? And do you mind being called it as well? Or do you prefer Topic Bricks? Let me know, mate. I don't want to disrespect you. I've only just met you, really. Craig is building a mock at the moment. That's his mock there. Bloody great big thing it is. It's ginormous. And I'm building the Lego mobile crane, which is trying to think of the number for this. It is set 60324. There we go. Come on there. And it's rather spiffing too, I have you know. But yeah, I haven't got too much more to do on this, to be honest. It's been I got to say I've completely enjoyed building this set, and I had a funny feeling that I was going to enjoy building it anyway. Not only because you're here, Craig, with me, but because I just think it's one of the more exciting sets that they've built or that they've had come out during this wave, and it has actually been a very good wave, in all honesty.
Yeah, there's a lot of nostalgia for that one, though. The colours and everything they've used goes back to that original set from the 80s.
Apparently this is based on a set from back in the day.
It was the same colours, but obviously smaller, the old city style of buildings. I remember the back flip-up hinged canopies they used to use with had a gap in the back of it where there wasn't any glass. They used them for everything. Fire trucks. They got rid of all those. They were like I think there were 4 teeth. One by 4 hinger, 5-finger sides, they were called. And they got rid of them all and changed them when they brought out Star Wars and did the click ones that you can have in different positions.
Yeah.
But before then, they used to, I've still got a load. All the Aquazone stuff uses those fingered pieces. But it's good that they've used an actuator on this because you don't often see actuators on like a city set for a young un. What's the age one on that one?
I don't know actually. Let's have a look. There's no real age on it, really. Does that mean it's 18? Not quite 18 plus, 16 plus, is it? If it's like that?
Yeah, I don't know if they do it all on our versions as much as they do it on other versions, but I would have thought it'd be about 8 and up. Yeah. Rosie saying, my username in the Lego community was Rosie, but then I made a YouTube channel called Topic Bricks. So the people who knew me before I made the channel carried on calling me Rosie. But yeah, you can call me Rosie. It's easier and less of a mouthful.
Cool. Appreciate that. Cheers, dude. Well, so if it was called Rosie before, what was your YouTube channel about? Ooh. Gardening?
Yeah, because say if you said flowers now, you'd be like, yeah.
Yeah. Definitely. All right. Oh, I definitely think it needs help with a bit of guidance on this.
Simon saying 7+ for the crane. So it's pretty young set to have a good piece like that on it.
Yeah. Well, there is some good parts on this. This is one of those sets that if it was in a sale price, like 50% off, I'd be interested in buying another one for it or buying it again because it's got some interesting parts in it. Hey, we got Brick Queen out there. Hey, Brick Queen. How you doing?
Hello.
Good to see you. That was fun streaming with you last night. Do check that out, folks. That was last night's stream with myself, Craig, and So Connor. It was really good fun. It was lovely to meet you, Christine. Right. But no, there's some good parts in this, Craig. And it's actually been quite a fun build, actually. I've quite enjoyed it. I tell you what, the nice thing is, because I built it so quick. I mean, it's over 300 parts, this is. But I built it so quick tonight, folks, because I essentially sorted all the parts out for it, for the build. And it's done wonders for my building speed. It really has.
You did advanced knurling because you did stickers as well.
Well, I did, yeah. Well, I never do stickers live, but because I thought I was reviewing this at the end of it, which of course I got plenty of time for now, folks. It's it kind of makes sense to have done that because it just stays. Because sometimes I'll be putting stickers on, and I'll be so still, and I'll be so quiet that people will think I've literally frozen. Like the amount of times Sides thought I've frozen when I haven't. I'm just kind of just being nice and quiet and putting stickers on. Yeah, it's just a really fun build, this one. But yeah, I'm kind of thinking maybe I should do more Lego City stuff because that kind of makes sense, I suppose, if I'm doing things along the lines of city, building city stuff and things like that. Rosie says, I didn't really have a YouTube channel before. I just use YouTube as a personal account with not really any videos on it. Oh, okay, cool. So it's interesting to learn a little bit about people's backstories.
Greg being nosy.
Yeah, I'm a bit nosy as well, actually, in all honesty. But I like to know people's backstory. It's interesting. I love an origin story, even if they're not superheroes. Bye, Joe. I believe I've nearly done this. How does that go in there? So I've got to tie a knot in there. I love the fact you've got to tie a knot and you've got to try and make it look as neat as they've done it in the instructions. That's not going to happen.
I'm sure somebody's done a video on tying knots in Lego strings.
Probably. I'd be amazed if Jang hasn't, actually, to be honest, because I think I'd imagine he's quite good with those knots. I mean, I just do a granny knot, in all honesty. I was in the Cubs, but I wasn't particularly good at tying knots.
You didn't get his badge for knot tying?
No, I didn't. I was pretty good at doing them though. For when I was mooring up, I used to go boating on a sort of small river cruise up and down the Thames in the 90s and the early 2000s. You'll find me most weekends, or a lot of the weekends, I should say, really, along Windsor. But yeah, I don't really do that anymore. They'd have a boat for a start. That would help, wouldn't it? But it's all pretty cool. What's one of your favorite themes that you go for, Craig? Do you generally stick with the sort of Batman stuff and all the new sets that are coming out for that?
No, I think the only thing that I get religiously is the modulars. That's it. Anything else is a case of whether I like it or not.
Yeah.
So just thinking, you haven't built any of the Ninjago ones yet, have you? So you haven't built any of the Ninjago modulars.
No, I've got those 3 to do. Or maybe a fourth. I think there's going to be a fourth one out this year.
Because I remember then we've been talking about Mos Vespa, haven't we? And it dawned on me that they copied off Ninjago Gardens, and I'll show you.
Really? Yeah, please do.
So that is in Ninjago Gardens.
Is it?
Yep.
Oh, you're right. It is. That is from it. You're quite right.
So they've nabbed it. Look at the rockets on the back.
Yeah, 100%. But it is funny though, isn't it? That they're called. I don't think. Right. The fact that they've called the characters mods, and they drive around in very Vespa-looking vehicles.
Oh yeah, it's planned. Definitely planned.
Like 100%. And I actually appreciate that. You can completely see where they've got the. Oh, this is amazing. I've got to put this on the bigger screen now. Look at this, folks. This is simply amazing. It really is. Lots of love out there for Sai, and of course there always should be. And Brick Queen as well. Brick Queen, amazing to have you watching. I feel quite honoured actually. She's it's like YouTube Lego royalty watching this. So where we at anyway? How long have I been streaming for? It's coming up for nearly 2 hours actually. That's done pretty well. 300-piece set in 3 hours. What's going on? Broke a new record, I think. So about this set then. Well, might as well do a bit of a review on it now. Nothing's stopping us. So let's have a look at the figures first of all. There's a road piece. There's a road piece here. Look at this road piece that you've got that they're giving us. There's not one single 2x4 tile with that. It's like, come on, Lego, give us some more tiles. You don't give us enough for the road sets anyway. Also, as well, folks, if you noticed as well, over here at the back, as long as the internet keeps up, we don't freeze on me. You should see these figures here represent all the figures that have come from the sets that I've built this year so far. And I'll extend it out with another one. But I think by the end of the year, I'll know exactly what my favorite figure is, because it'll have all the figures on there that I like the most throughout the year for the 2022 that I've built. And this, of course, being one of them that I built with Sai a little while ago, about 2 weeks ago on the backlog, which was awesome. But yeah, love that one. But yeah, so let's pop that on there. So let's do a bit of a review on these then. I think I'll kick off with the minifigures. A lot of people generally do. I'll tell you what I'm going to do though. I might let me see if I can just put myself over here. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Right, I'm going to get rid of this. I'm going to get rid of that cam here. Right. And what I'm going to do, folks, is I think I'm going to just switch between the different cameras. So let's just do that. And hopefully that'll improve stuff. So hopefully you guys and girls out there can still hear me and stuff like that. So over here, you've got one of the Lego figures. There we go. And she's pretty cool, actually. She's what would you call her? A construction worker, Craig?
Yeah, I would think so. Yeah, like the crane operator.
Yeah, I suppose she is. Yeah, they're both crane operators, I suppose. Yeah, well, she's just happens to wear glasses. Now, what I have noticed about these two, right, is that they're both actually got different torsos, which is kind of cool. So let me show you her one. She's got quite a nice. Her hair piece is a dual molded piece where you got the cap and you got a hair piece there. Only sort of one-sided kind of head, as you've got like an alternative face. But I like the back though. Your print there, you got like a couple of sort of spanners in her back pocket, which I think looks really cool. But yeah, she's a pretty cool figure. I like her. And like I say, folks, the torsos are different. So this guy's actually got quite a cool jacket as well. They look pretty cool. In fact, I just want to make sure I put the right legs on them. Let's have a double check of that. I'll go right back to the beginning of the instructions. There we go. And yes, I have. Goodness for that. I thought for a second there I'd given the wrong trousers. But that's a decent
odd choice of trousers, isn't it?
Well, it's really bright. Yeah, I thought they'd be the same, but they're not. They're actually both different. If I just do that, or maybe not, the case maybe. Right, if I do this, put her there. This kind of because of the grey, you've got the greyish blue ones, and you've got the sky blue ones. I quite like the sky blue ones. They're quite nice actually. But they are quite different looking figures. But like I say, she's got like a sort of a pair of pliers in her back pocket, and he's got, well, I think it's just a mobile phone, really. Could be a CB radio, kind of handy if you're an operator. But yeah, I like them. Yeah, good figures. I like the figures. 10 out of 10 for the figures, folks, because I think they're quite important. Also, as well, what you get with him, it won't be his one; it'll be hers. She gets a CB radio, which is quite a nice piece. I think, actually, am I right in saying I think the CBs go this way round, don't they, Craig? With the kind of anti-studs facing inwards like that. So she gets the CB radio, and I'll put her like that so she can stand up. He gets the spanner. So there we go. So we've got a couple of accessories there, which is kind of neat and pretty decent. And also as well, I've noticed they can go in a particular section of the crane. So anyway, let's bring the crane down a bit, shall we? Because there's a couple of ways that this works. So let's bring that down like so. Like I say, folks, I've literally only just built this, so it could go terribly wrong. Let's roll that back over here. Well, yeah, so I've noticed already. So let's bring that over here like that. There we go. That works all right. There we go. I think, does that clip onto the front? Oh, yeah, it does actually. That's quite clever. So I'm going to pop that on there like that, and then tighten that up a little bit. Yeah, could probably do with a little bit more tension in there, but that's cool. You just get that. So, I mean, it looks quite neat and tidy, just like that. I think I'm right in saying that I don't think they just go up. I think these actually come out. So if I just pop them like that for now, so that's kind of like in its driving state, which looks all right, actually. I like it. The walkie-talkie. I love a walkie-talkie, Si. I walk past the walkie-talkie in London every day. Do you know that? So it's got... I just love the wheels. Do you know what I mean? It's like a sort of like a plane. You know, you get these at airports where they're like kind of white, but they don't have the crane section on them. They're just kind of like plain. I don't know. Just think about these sort of vehicles I like. There's something very Thunderbirdsy about them. So anyway, the crane actually working itself. So let's unhook it from its kind of, I don't know what you'd call it really, like a front tow bar or something like that. And then if we want to lift it up, how does that lift up then? So that crane goes like that. And then I think, there we go, goes up like so. So if I just let a little bit of slack off there, there we go. And then that goes up and up. This is like Matt Elder coming on with his, oh, apparently they're called tugs. That's good. Simon, I had no idea what they're called, but there you go, folks. If you ever wonder what they hook those at the front there, called tugs. I suppose it makes sense really, because the reverse of a tug is a tow, isn't it? There we go. And then we can let that down like so. And that's kind of how it kind of works, really. So I suppose that can pick up stuff. Well, I suppose what you do get to pick up with it is this road plate. Nothing too really that interesting about it, really. It's a useful piece. You get this hook section as well. So if we then, I'm guessing we could kind of extend it out. Like so. Oh, blimey, don't put it out too far though. And then just kind of let that down. You can see why I don't do many reviews now. There we go. I've edited this a good one, I'll tell you. And then you hook that on there like so. The question is, will it lift it up? Will it lift it up? Who knows? We'll soon find out. There we go. All right. Oh, let's get that. So that kind of hooks on it properly. There we go. It's not exactly like going fishing, is it? But there we go. Like that. So that works okay. That works well. You've got this kind of extended Technic piece here. You've got this lovely, great big Lego mold here for the greater part of the boon. That works an absolute treat. That does.
Yeah, he's failed on his operating skills because you didn't bring the stabilizers out.
Oh, I did, but no, you're quite right. Actually, quite right. Look at that. Have I failed my test already?
Yeah.
Yeah. So if I was doing this in real life, folks, I'd do this. Like, so you pull these out like that, and it goes like that. I should know this really. I even showed this on the video when I was getting materials arriving for the cabin, like that. Look at that. So I do the sound effects, Craig.
Yeah, go for it.
And then legs coming down. There we go. Vehicle reversing. Vehicle reversing. And there we go, like that. It's a good vehicle for Spider-Man, this would be. And then we go. And then it would come down like so. It's quite cool, isn't it? That's all right. Like that. And then we'll pull that in like so. I don't think
this is why your city's taking so long, isn't it? Using Lego vehicles to build it.
Well, this is do you know what, right? This is the perfect thing for putting in the city, because when I'm actually, oh, that goes down. I keep wanting to do it manually. When I've got a part of a building that needs, like, you know, where the next one's going to go, I'll put a mills plate in there. I shall. And what I'll do is I'll put this in there. But I tell you what this needs. I tell you what this needs here, right? I'm just going to show you it like this, folks. This here, look, it goes over there like that, right? But it doesn't stay straight. So what that needs there, let me just show you this. Let me just show you this. I'll go over here. Give me jaws. In here, I should have some clips. There we go. Now, I haven't got a yellow clip and I haven't got a blue clip. But let's use a colour that's on there. Let's use a white one, shall we? Apologies for not having the correct colour. But if I was to enhance this, I don't know about enhancing it, modding it, I would at least put that on there. Because I tell you why, the benefit of putting that there is at least then that would sit in there. So that line would then go straight. Do you see what I mean by that, Craig?
Yep.
That would work a treat there. There you go, folks. Instant modification. I think I'll be good at mods. I don't think I'm so good at mocks, but what can I say? I've never tried it. And then they kind of just go into place like that. Like that. You fold them up like that. A lovely sound that is. Going up and going in like so. There you have it. You've got the crane operator goes in here, which is a nice little area. You've got the kind of joysticks as well for controlling it, which I think looks great. I think that works particularly well. It always reminds me of sort of like a helicopter piece. You've got all the mechanisms over here as well. They're the operating parts of it, folks. One for going for pulling up the hook, and the other one as well for actually pulling the boom up and down like so. Good use of colours as well. I do like the colour. I think this is the original one that came out years ago. I do believe is the same colour as this, isn't it, Craig?
Yeah, blue and yellow. So
that's nice. I like blue and yellow. I used to like a Mark IV Vauxhall Astra back in the day. They used to do a sports version that was these colours as well. And this is quite a bright yellow. The actual crane area on top is a really good construction. I really enjoyed building that. A little bit of Technics involved, but really, it ain't that much at all, in all honesty. It really isn't. We've got Chris Coldstein Chalice. Hey, Chris, how you doing? And thank you for those details you sent me over the weekend as well, mate. We've got really good use of parts on there. There's some parts that I've never actually even seen before, Craig, especially this section here in and around the boom that kind of holds it all together. I think that's a nice use of it.
That's the bit, isn't that the bit from the bikes, the Batman bikes as well? They use it on the.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
Well, that's pretty
the
good.
new Batman bikes, the two ones that came from the new movie.
Yeah, do you know what? That was on New Year's Day. That was actually those were selling like hotcakes. They were. And I'll tell you something I do like. A nice bit of detail here, folks. But if I just pop them there, and those here. If I take those accessories that they've got, i.e. the walkie-talkie, as Si calls it, and the large spanner, they can actually clip on the back of the truck, which is always handy. Always like that in a set. So let's just clip those in there. There you go. And there you go there. That looked pretty good, didn't it? That's nice. I like that when you get that in a set. I love the cab. I mean, the dual cab, I think, looks amazing. I just love stuff like this. Wide vehicles, folks. I love a wide vehicle. What can I say? I'm turning into one as I get older as well. But the funny thing about this, and I've seen it as well. You got this issue here, and it's not really a big issue, really, of a bit of a gap going up there. See that? You can see right into the cab. And do you know what will fix that? Because in the cab there isn't actually any chairs. If you put chairs in there, that will cover up most part of that gap that you get there from the wheel arch. So that would fix that. But the actual figures themselves, I think they'll fit in there quite easy. Let's pop them in there. There we go. Yeah. Well, it's kind of sitting there. Yep, there we go. That's in. Let's get the other one in there because they are buddies after all. Even though I've got to be honest. If I was driving around in this, I'd love to be in that one. Let's pop them in there as well. It's nice to be able to put both figures in it as well as kind of because sometimes they make it so squishy that you can't actually get them in. There we go. Put that back on top of there as well. I like the fact we've got car hoods on this. And they're being used for the cabin cover, which I think is quite cool. Yeah, and there we go. See, we've got the figures just there like that. Looks like the real deal, Craig, doesn't it?
It's cool.
It really does. Yeah, I like that a lot, actually. I think for the money as well, I think it actually, parts per piece count, I don't think it was too bad. But in all honesty, I mean, I'm a bit biased with this set because this particular set, I was thinking when I first saw the pictures for it, how much I wanted to get it in the first place anyway, and how good I thought it would look in the city, which I've got to be honest, in the flesh, and I don't say this very often about Lego sets, folks, it actually looks better than what I thought it was going to look. So with that in mind, for the money, for the building techniques that you got in it, for the value and everything like that, I would definitely recommend getting this one. And you know what? I've thoroughly enjoyed building it as well on this stream. It's been very, very cool. And on that note, I'm going to change my camera so you can see me again now. Voila, here I am. So yeah, I like it. It's a really good vehicle. And you know what? If you've got a city and you want to kind of create some sort of construction site or something like that, I kind of highly recommend it. I really would. Ingrid says it's $40 US. I think it's about £35 over here. It might actually be £39.99. But even so, I still think it's worth it. You've got 300 plus pieces for this as well, Ingrid. A little bit of Technic in there, but you've got these like long boom bar and stuff like that. And that, to be fair, in itself is going to kind of up the price, especially with that. What would you call that plate? With that kind of grilled plate on there, Craig?
Which one? The big grey one.
Yeah, the big grey plate on there.
It's an 8x8 grill.
It's just that. It is literally an 8x8 grill. Oh, thanks, Lego Madness. I thought it might be £34.99. About the £35-40 mark. But yeah, definitely worth it. I mean, literally, parts per piece count is pretty good value. And on top of that, it's a really good build, and it's quite wide as well. I mean, it's eight studs wide. You know, it's a decent set, and you know what? It's actually got quite a decent bit of weight to it. It's a really good construction, and well, put it this way, I'll give it about 10 out of 10. I think it's one of my favourite Lego City vehicles, in all honesty. It's right up there with the Lego ice cream van, which I think is awesome as well, in all honesty. So, on that note, then, folks, let's change the camera around a little bit more, so it's a little bit more even. That's better. I can see my old mate now, Craig. Craig, are you up to anything this week? Are you going to be streaming or anything like that?
I don't know, to be fair. I wouldn't have thought anything before Thursday. Maybe, I haven't really planned anything, to be honest.
Cool, man. Cool. All right. Well, we'll look out for you guys and girls out there. If you want to see, find out a little bit more about Craig and what he's all about and stuff like that, then please do check out the description below. You'll find all the
show you
details.
my stairs. You can have a look at my stairs now.
Look at your stairs. Let's have a look at your stairs. Oh, wow. They do look good. That's like is that kind of like a sort of balcony that pulls them together?
Yeah. That'll be the balcony there, and then there's other steps into the other side, steps into the bedroom area.
Cool, you got some really interesting techniques going on there, Craig.
It's this slurp piece, but I used the normal one and then the inverted one to give it a bit more of effect of the stairs going up.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that is nice. How many what was particularly hard about doing those steps?
Getting them lined up right to connect to the wall.
Yeah,
they've got to get, so there's a couple of snot pieces that hold them on the wall, but because of the way they are,
yeah,
you've got to get the right distance between each one because they're not quite I think it's a brick and 2 plates between a brick is the normal connection.
Yeah. Oh wow, well, that's pretty cool. I mean, it's hard. I mean, it's brilliant. I mean, people always say, folks, stairs, they're the hardest thing to do. They really are. Even in the boutique hotel, their ones weren't particularly bad or hard to do, but there's the external steps, which, do you know what? I still actually don't like that much.
You don't like them? I like them.
Yeah, so I don't like them. I actually don't mind the trees too much. It's the steps. I just don't think the steps are architecturally the right thing that they chose for that. But it's difference of opinion, isn't it? I still love it though. It's still a great building, and your version, what you've done to yours, is awesome. What you've done to your one, mate, making it.
I just need to finish the lobby because I'm going to do a smaller version of the sofa, like a chair.
Yeah,
and then under the stairs, I'm going to build slightly out because I think they need some kind of. I was thinking staff room or. Something like that, just at the bottom, just like an extra bit on the back. I know people have done like restaurants and other bits of like, kitchen for us if they're going to eat food and stuff. But I thought it'd be nice to have like a toilet maybe in a staff room or something.
Okay, yeah. I know Si loves a toilet in his building.
That's why I do it for Si.
We don't. From the minifigures point of view, folks, what can I say? But anyway, I think we're going to start winding down soon. I think we got a couple of people streaming out there as well, Craig. I think we're going to have the Brick Bods kicking off in 13 minutes or 12 actually is now. And I think Brick Scene is building the carousel tonight, set 10257. He's going to be building that one tonight. So God, good luck to him building that. Is he going to do that in one session or is he doing that over 2 sessions?
I do not know. He seems to be cracking on with it.
Is he? Okay, he's doing all right. So, Craig, do you mind popping those streams in the chat for us, dude? Because guys and girls out there, do check them out. Brick Scene deserves a bit of love, and certainly the Brick Bods do as well. I think Si just loves toilets in general. Actually, I think that's the nearest he gets to actually going to the sea. I don't know. It's got a thing about toilets. It's a thing. It's a thing. It really is. Lorraine's back. She's got her avatar sorted out. Have you sorted your phone out now, Lorraine? Good to see you. And you know what, folks? It's just been a really lovely evening tonight. It was quite. I got taken quite a lot from tonight, especially after speaking with Brick Hive and Craigster so openly earlier on. But you know what, folks? It's been a great panel tonight. It's also been great bunch of you peeps out there tonight. So let's say goodbye to a few of you. So we've got Lego Mike out there. Take care, all. Happy building. You too, Mike. We've got Minifig Who out there as well. Good to have seen you, dude. Si O'Connor's out there as well. Don't forget, folks, on Wednesday, I'm going to be streaming with Si O'Connor on his channel. Si, I think we'll be able to do 7:30, but it might be 7. Don't know yet. Let me get back to you. I'm not sure exactly what time we're doing it on Wednesday, folks. Then, of course, on Thursday will be on Si O'Connor's channel, his usual stream. That'll be kicking off at 8 o'clock, folks. And then on Friday, of course, it'll be London Calling 104, which, ordinarily speaking, you wouldn't normally think, 104 was that particularly important. But you know what? Actually, it is important for me, 104, because it will mark the 2-year anniversary that I've been doing London Calling for 2 straight years. Yeah, 2 years in a row. I've done every Friday for 2 years, which sounds. I still can't get my head around it. It's baffling, really. But anyway, I want to say goodbye to a few more peeps as well. Lego Madness, good to see you here, dude. Skellig as well. Ingrid Wynn. We had the Brick Queen in earlier on as well. Nicole, aka Lady McBrick. We got Chris Cold Steam Chalice as well. My Cropfish, he was out there. We also had Stud Sidious, Benji's Builds, and Simon, and Red Carnage, to name but a few. Honestly, folks, it's a beautiful way to end the weekend with a new week pending our way at the moment. Take a deep breath. Be good to each other.
Again.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I can't roll on Friday already. But be kind to yourselves, folks. And just what Brick I was saying earlier on, you know what? Be kind to each other and be kind to yourselves. That's probably the most important thing. And you know what? Lego. It's a wonderful thing. It really is. And each and every one of you, and especially you, Craig, have a wonderful week, folks. And I will see you on Wednesday between 7 and 8 on the backlog. Take care, folks. Do check out those other streams that are kicking off right now. And I'll see you very, very soon. Bye for now. See you later.
Bye, 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 bye.
Bye, everyone. Take care. Have a wonderful week.
Love you, Si.